Normally I'd be out of here already, considering it's a stealth spot, but you can probably hear there's people driving by hitting the bump spot quite a bit, and I don't want to be out there in this twilight, not to mention dense fog advisory. Because the tent barely fit in this spot I found, I didn't even put any stakes in. That's again why I really like having the freestanding tent. I just toss my shoes in the corner and it's enough. Beach hiking. It is kind of a challenge packing up here when I have to both keep my head down and I don't have much in the way of extra space. Also, I did get a tick on me on the way back in here. I really couldn't have asked for a better spot. Only had one kind of scare last night. So this was too good of a spot to pass up, but about 9 or 10 o'clock I was risking cooking dinner, had my red light on low, and I heard what sounded like an electric golf cart or something pull up. So I had to get really, really quiet, damp everything down. There were lights shining around. I don't know if they had seen me and they were looking, or if it was just somebody coming out of that driveway. I didn't see these signs until the next morning, but for the record, the Uber plus hotel plus Uber would have cost more than the ticket. Okay, so now I just got to knock out about 10 miles on PCH, and then I will be at another little community. Might be able to get lunch, and then I think it's another 5 miles, maybe it's 8, to the San Simeon State Park, where I'm planning to camp for tonight. Day after that's going to be kind of a challenge. I think I've got like a 20-mile day, which, again, if my feet weren't acting up, would be perfectly doable. But it looks like there might be a lack of water options. Though, from the guide, it sounds like there might be some creeks running out of the cow fields. That's why I filter, right? I find it interesting that there's so many signs about no overnight camping. Oh man, I could have a site and water. I mean, I would have been caught and fined, but hey. So I've obviously done a fair amount of stealth camping at this point. That was kind of the only option down in the Keys and for big swaths of Canada last year. It doesn't come naturally to me like it does some other people I've talked to. Whenever I do have to do it, I always wish I had my bivvy just so I could be a little lower profile, even though my tent does work fairly well. I just don't like having to stress about potentially being caught. I'm not worried about being arrested, fined, anything like that. I just don't want to get rousted and have to move at 10 o'clock at night when I'm all settled into my sleeping bag. I basically really just enjoy my time in my tent at the end of the day. So having to stress just isn't worth it. I've already had 2 sheriffs eyeing me this morning. The foot issues are really a shame because otherwise yesterday would have been a really cool day walking along the beach and the bluffs like that. Hey, Monterey. Well, on the plus side, I get to get off PCH for a while at least. Oh well, so much for getting food and or coffee. It's overrated anyway. Well, this is a nice little interlude. And now I'm looking ahead and seeing more details. So, San Simeon State Park is ahead, and I could go there and camp. However, miles are kind of counting as far as trying to divide up the days here, and it's only 11:30 and I've come 10 miles. It's really nice when I start early, huh? If I stop, I can either stop at the campground or I can get another 2-ish miles. And it looks like there's a place with hot food and a $70 hotel room. That is damn tempting, as much as I'm sick of this and ready to be just back in my tent in the wilderness. This section's a mix of roads, little trails, and stuff like this. So I actually got excited and looked at the California Coastal Trail, but it's not really a thing as far as something you can through hike. Especially down in San Diego, it's basically just walking down the sidewalk and staying in hotels. I was supposed to be on the beach for this section, but so much for that. Okay, that might be better than a mountain house. Okay, hooray for cheap midweek motels and getting a few extra miles out of the way. I would seriously much rather be in my tent than this, but at least it's quiet. I had traffic noise pretty much the entire night.